Georgie? What a nice boat. Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
Look like a nice boy. Do you want a balloon too, Georgie?
I'm not supposed to take stuff from strangers.
Oh, well, I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown.
I should get going now.
Oh, without your boat? Here, take it. Tastes like chicken.
Welcome back, guys, to my channel. It's Pierre, aka Nina Bonina Brown, and we are here. Honestly, I don't know what it's going to be. I just want to do a gloss over, a little rehash of the episodes that I've seen so far, which has only been 2 episodes of Welcome to Derry. We're doing Welcome to Derry. I love this show already. And I don't know if I'm being biased because I love it in general, Pennywise, but I like the show. But yeah, remember to like the video, sub. I'm on Patreon. If this video does pretty good and my Patreon people would want me to watch the show on Patreon with them, then maybe let me know and we can do that probably. But Welcome to Derry premiered October 26th on HBO Max. Right away, that first episode just brings you in. After that, I don't know how you can't be hooked. I mean, like, the first, 10 minutes or so, right in with the crazy car scene with the crazy family and the crotch baby. But I'm sure everybody here has to know what it is, right? It is a novel by Stephen King called It. Very thick novel. Personally, I've never read it, but I've heard a bunch of the lore and different things. It's a really weird universe that ties in with another universe and a turtle god and the demon that is it. And it's just like, the story is so confusing, but interesting. The first adaptation of it being like a live movie was 1990, I believe, and it was on TV, and it was split in 2 sections. And honestly, a lot of the things that they probably wanted to be in that TV series, they couldn't because the book is too long. And so they really just cut it where, you had the beginning part with them starting off as kids, the loser gang, and then the second half was with them being adults, which I thought they did a good job casting the children and the adults to coincide. There's something so nostalgic, and it's just something that's so creepy about that TV series. Like, it could have been, better, right? But I loved it. I mean, like, I thought it was shot really good for that time.
Here I am, Wheezy.
That opening scene with the Georgie, poor Georgie.
You float soul!
And just that feeling that, some of us have been feeling like we're part of a loser gang, the getting picked on by the bullies. So that, you can relate to these kids. And, it is not just a clown, which is what a lot of us would think because it's what you see him as, but he can form into whatever your fears are. White people that have a fear of black people, he could turn to a black person, But I guess he takes the form as a clown because that's what most people kind of are scared of. What I didn't like about the 1990s one was the ending, pretty much with him being like a spider. I guess that was his true form, and I just did not like the spider. I don't know if it was the practical effects of that time, or I just thought it wasn't as scary as him being a clown. So fast forward, we get to It 2017 with Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and the original was Tim Curry. From what I heard, originally Tim Curry really didn't want to do it because he didn't want to sit through a bunch of makeup again like he did with the movie Legend, where he was that devil. That devil was always that had to be one of the best interpretations of a devil that I've seen. But so basically they ended up making it where he didn't have to do too much. Just put on this little white makeup, and he did it, and he killed it. Bill Skarsgård, I think he did a good job in his own rights as well. This movie was, I enjoyed both of these movies, It and It 2, the 2000 and up ones. I like the design of the clown. I like the kids. It was eerie. I know people don't really like CGI, but we're in a day now where CGI is like what it is. Like, it's here to stay. A lot of things you can't make happen with practical effects, but practical effects are always welcome. Then, of course, we all know, spoiler alert, on It Chapter 2, the 2000 and so movie, Pennywise got what he deserved. He died. Now, when you think about it, like, how the hell did he die by people just making fun of him? Like, when you look at this series that's out now, it's like, all these kids that have went through hell, this person, or this thing, could not stop him, but it's just some kids being like, haha, you're a loser. That killed him. But from what I've heard, because those kids, the loser gang, had some, I think they had that turtle god on their side somehow. It's weird, y'all. Said keep up. It's weird. The loser gangs were in 1960, I believe. This first season that we're getting, I don't know. Let's say 1940. I don't know, but it's bad. And then they're gonna have 3 seasons. So that we're in this decade now. The next season, let's say, it'll be 1900. They're going backwards to where I guess he began. And they should, because I want to know how the hell did he get here. I want somebody to really try their best to explain it in movie form or series form. So this whole Welcome to Derry is what leads to the events of what we know from the loser gangs defeating him. So I've heard some people say that it's okay, it's too much CGI, the acting is some suspicious, but for me, the acting has been pretty good. The only questionable acting I had was on the second episode with the new kid in town with his parents, the black family, so far, but we'll get there. Another thing this first episode did that was like kind of shocking, like you thought that maybe a few of the kids were like main characters, but then quickly you learn they're not. This is what I like about this so far, is that sometimes movies and things are scared to show any harm to kids. Not It Welcome to Derry. If you like your kids to be harmed, this is a show for you. So basically the plot of this first episode is this boy, Matty Clements. It seems like he's a troubled boy, going through some things. He's at a movie theater by himself, no parents. He has a pacifier, so he definitely has some issues.
And so's your old man. So my friends.
At his age. And he's just there watching a movie, leaves out in the cold by himself, hitchhiking. Then he ends up with this crazy, well, what seems like an innocent family at first.
You all right, young man?
And quickly you find out, it's the devil. Crotch baby. Yeah. I'm going to assume that was the birth of Pennywise. Like, I mean, like, he's been there, but like, that was him reawakening from his slumber. Poor thing, I guess he lost his life in that car. His pacifier goes through the window, ends up in a sewer drain, and that lets you know what his fate is and then what's going on with the rest of Derry. And then we go to a scene of this military base and this guy, Leroy Hanlon. Like, you know, this is a character that I guess somehow we're going to be looking at different stories. This is his story. He's from the military. I guess he done seen some shit happen up there. And so he's moving into Derry with his family, which you'll see mostly on episode 2. So it's going between this and then it's going between what happened with the boy, Matty, which was all 4 months ago in between that time. The kids at school with the character Lily Bainbridge, one of them, they're coping with what happened to Maddie. They don't know what happened. They're thinking that the character Veronica Ronnie has something to do with the disappearance of Maddie. She's the black girl in the film, and she definitely is good. You gotta watch out for her. Because when I tell you, I feel like she carried the second episode. We'll get there though. She carried that episode for me. Let me just talk about the kids really quick. I really like this cast of kids so far. Their looks, they just look like they belong there. Especially this one kid, Teddy Uris. That's the character, but his name is Mikhail Kareem Fiddler. His eyes, those sleepy eyes, he kind of looks like he could be Bill Skarsgård's son or something. He looks like he's from that era. Like, he really does. This other character who I like as well, her name is Matilda. Her name is Marge, actor Matilda Lawler. She looks like she belongs there. Like, she just looks, the casting is so good to me. And just like I said, the aura of this filming, the lighting, everything just works together for me. And they're kind of giving their own version of the Losers Club in a way, honestly. And as always, these kids all have their own individual traumas and things that personally affect them. Like Lily, her father passed away. She's mourning that. And then, just like in the original It, she hears a voice coming from the sewer drain from her sink.
Help me.
Grab your son, your daughter, with the arms of the jump.
And she thinks that it's Maddie, but of course we all know it's not Maddie. And I think this is when the nightmares start happening for these kids in their own personal lives. But then eventually they all come to realize that they're all kind of having these same nightmares and trying to figure out what happened, and is that what happened to Maddie? And I think it affects Lily more because Maddie, I guess, had a crush on her. And for some reason, people in the town think she's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. They think she's crazy for whatever reason. But you'll see a lot of that in episode 2. See, and Lily's having this trauma because, and now it ties in with the pickles from the second episode. She's having this trauma because her father worked in some kind of plant. I don't know if it was a pickle plant. I don't know. He worked in some kind of place where it has machinery and all that. And then she left something there. And he went to go get it for her. And somehow he got caught in some machinery and then he died, unfortunately. And so now she's thinking it's her fault. You know, so just somehow this all ties into this pickle nonsense in episode 2. And then the other crazy scene, you got Teddy, who's being, his nightmare has something to do with Leatherface, like Ed Gein. Especially after watching the Ed Gein thing not too long ago, and then them having these like leather skin faces on like the lamps and all that. This stuff is just cool to me. I know people don't like CGI, but I think regardless, it's still cool. Like, this is some twisted, freaky nightmare stuff going on, and I love it already. I really do. And then we somehow get back to Leroy, you know, the vet, and he's trying to sleep. He's woken up by some strangers in his place trying to, I guess, get some information or try to kill him. Wearing these masks, and it's just like, what the hell? What's going on? How are we here? Like I'm sure it's going to explain more, but right now at the moment, I'm just like, this story is just like whatever. And then basically, to end this episode, the kids, I guess, they figured out that the last time anybody saw Maddie was at the theater because of Veronica, the little black girl that works there with her father. I guess he recalled or seeing him there. And so they go there, I guess, to try to see, can they get any clues? And then they end up, it's probably about 4 or 5 kids or so, in this theater, watching the same movie that Maddie watched. And you already know some stuff's about to go down. Especially after watching the It remake. They see Maddie in this stream. It's like, how is he there?
How is he in the goddamn movie? Maddie, we're over here! Maddie.
Like, Maddie, we're here. Can you hear us? Come to us. I'm like, why are y'all still in this theater? Run. And then, before you know it, Baby Demon comes out of the film, causes hell, and they show about 2 or so kids get murdered. And that is the end of the episode right there. And then we go to episode 2. They also hint at the turtle between Maddie and, what's her name, Lily, I think. They were talking about earlier, the turtle of the universe. And it's like little Easter eggs like that that's kind of hard to miss sometimes. That's easy to miss at times. So I wonder if he would have kept that turtle, would he have been okay?
I got turtle. Trade you? Sure.
So episode 2 is when we get the actual like intro for Welcome to Derry. This intro is so good. And it's so good because it's something about creepy ass. Everything was creepy from back in the day for some reason. The artwork, the drawings, the paintings. It starts off with so good and this happy song showing all these happy people. And then as it goes on, it gets more dark and twisted and showing Pennywise holding a gun. Like, it's just like crazy. I love the intro so much. Like, sometimes I want to skip intros. I mean, I mind watching that one all the time. So episode 2 kind of starts right back off of what happened in episode 1 with the kids that lost their lives in the theater. And basically now these chiefs of Derry is trying to find somebody to blame it on. And Lily and the daughter of the guy that works in the theater saying like, hey, my dad has nothing to do with it, or he has nothing to do with it, sir, you know, and they just don't want to believe it. They don't want to say it's monsters, you know, because, especially Lily, because they don't think she's crazy.
Look, everyone knows your dad had nothing to do with this. When the cops asked me, I told them he wasn't even there.
And she doesn't want to end up in a crazy home again because she's already been the one. So they're basically trying to, and as you'll see in later on in the episode, trying to pressure her into saying, hey, it's the black guy.
They also know about your time at Juniper Hill.
So that's one thing right there. On top of that, the Leroy is now, he bought a house in Derry. He has his wife, his son, who I was saying earlier, who I thought was an okay actor.
What you think? It's more space?
Will Hanlon is the name on the show. Blake Cameron is his actual name. He's okay so far.
This thing's amazing.
But they're moving into this neighborhood that looks all nice and bright and sunny. But this episode kind of put me in the mind of Lovecraft too. Of Lovecraft. And I love Lovecraft. I'm still mad they got rid of that show. That show was awesome. Awesome. But it put me in the mind because it goes back to that creepy but weird but also racism kind of stuff that was going on. And of course them being like the only black family there, it seems like all eyes are on them. So the kid is going to have to deal with trying to go to school and be amongst all these white students and fit in. And as always, typical nonsense. He goes into the classroom and lo and behold, he's being bullied. But luckily, there's a kid there that seems to like him. The kids in school doing their thing. You got the mean girls. Like, there's always a mean girl in his school. So we kind of can't wait till something happened to her.
Does anybody have a tissue? Enough, Marge.
And she's like the Regina George of the school, right? And all the girls want to be her. Marge, when I said I like with the glasses, you can tell she's a good person, but she's also trying to fit in with a cool girl. So, like, she's kind of turning her back on her friends like Lily and them and kind of acting like Veronica is the one that killed Maddie or killed the kids in the theater because her dad works there and she works there too, I guess. And so they're just trying, so she's trying to fit in to all that nonsense. You know, and back into the town, we see how Derry is, where everybody turns a blind eye to things that are happening. And Charlotte Hannon, played by Taylor Page, starts to see that, you know, right away. She's literally walking through the town, going somewhere, and she sees this kid being beat up by a group of boys, and she's looking like, why nobody ain't saying anything? Everybody's walking by like, la 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 la, and she's the only one who wants to say something. And then, like, when she goes out there to try to stop it, everybody looking at her like she's crazy.
Why is no one stopping this? You leave that boy alone, you hear me?
And then after that, right away, this is the first gory, crazy scene of this episode. Veronica is having one of her nightmares. This gave me Lovecraft for real, though. Seriously. Like, I mean, like, this was crazy.
You tore me apart, Ronnie.
It's something about them wanting to show women giving birth this season for some reason. And I'm assuming that when she was born, her mother died of complications from the birth. And so traumatized right there. And Pennywise is using that against her. And it just shows this, she puts a sheet over her head to go to sleep. And then it almost gave me like Nightmare on Elm Street, this part where like they couldn't get out the bed. It was just like non-stop like sheets, whatever. And then she ends up in like a, the sack, you know, that you're in when you're a baby. And she's trying to claw her way out. She gets out and bursts out like she's born out of her, and looks and hear her mom. It's just like the size of a bed. And she's like, you killed me. You ripped me apart. And and then she puts the umbilical cord around her because it's still attached to Veronica, and it's pulling her to eat her. And her stomach is opening with his teeth like Pennywise. And inside the mouth is like the glowing light that you shouldn't look at, those yellow eyes, never look into the light. And luckily, Veronica was smart enough to cut the umbilical cord off. Craziness. You know, and then back to Leroy. You know, the vet, you know, he's like he's questioning, trying to see who broke into his room, because whoever had a certain gun he knew wasn't capable of using a certain gun.
And near as I can tell, you can barely strip down an M16, much less handle a Soviet pistol like you're married to it.
That's what's going on with that story. It still hasn't made sense to me just yet. And like I said, you know, there's the altercation between Lily and Veronica. After the dad gets locked up, Veronica, you know, her and Lily have it out. Veronica curses. She ends up in detention with the new character, Leroy's son.
I'm sorry.
I really like this Veronica. I do. She kind of reminds me of the sister from Stranger Things. Just ironically, like she does. And then we go to the final crazy scene of this episode, the pickle scene. This scene was shot really good. Lily is going through it. Girl, she's cursed with pickles. She goes into the grocery store and she's walking through. Everybody seems fine so far. But the more she's walking through the aisles, us, the viewers, see these characters starting to act really weird. Like, they'll be looking normal, and then when she's not looking at them, they'll like, you know, walk by the screen really funny and crazy. And you're like, oh Lord, Pennywise here, oh Lord. And then as she's walking, some of the aisles start to close off. It was giving me video game. It was giving me horror video game. Like, it's starting to block her in. And then she gets to this aisle where it's nothing but like boxes of cereal, I believe. And she sees Maddie on the cereal, and then all these horrible images. And then she runs from that and then ends up in this pickle aisle. And then somehow her dad his head is cut in different pieces in these pickle jars, and then she knocks him over. And then the body parts start to come together, and then the dad is trying to like kiss her with his pickle tongue, and it is crazy. And then she wakes up, and then she's screaming, and then she gets out of that dream state that she was in, and everybody's looking at her like she's crazy. And then she ends up with her mom taking her to the crazy home.
Don't make me go.
We don't know if she told the cops that Veronica's dad did it. We think so. Either she did or did not comply with that. She still ends up in a crazy home anyway, so far. It's crazy. Like, I mean, if these are the first 2 episodes, what are we in store for? I really don't want nothing to happen to Veronica. And I don't want nothing to happen to Lily either. I think she's just scared. You know, like, and I don't want nothing to happen to my girl Matilda. And I need to know what's going to happen with this adult. But I'm ready to see for this whole military thing to kind of tie in. I'm sure it will. We gotta be patient. But so far, like I said, I'm loving this. Y'all, if y'all haven't watched it, definitely watch it for yourselves. Look at all the craziness for yourselves. Let me know what y'all think. Easter eggs y'all seen down below. What do y'all think so far? I want to know. I'm excited. You know, like I am really enjoying this so far. So thank y'all for watching this. I tried to piece it together the best way I could. But anyway, in the meantime, stay beat, stay beautiful, but most importantly, stay blessed. Kimacho or Kimochi. Bye-bye. That's all, folks. And